So we're going to roll a slab. We're going to make it a little bit easier on ourselves to start off with when we're rolling a slab. So we've got that slab roller over there, and it's not the only way we can make a slab of clay. Obviously we've got rolling pins, and you can use bits of stick and you can roll it out by hand. If you haven't got one of these at home, and not many makers will have a slab roller unless that's their only sort of the main part of their practice. But while you're here, I would recommend using a slab roller. So we can't put a huge lump of clay straight through the slab roller, so we're going to make it a little easier. And we're just going to, and I showed you this briefly before, didn't I think? Take the hand and the weight of the clay, just to give us a head start. I haven't got my apron on, it's naughty, isn't it? Now some people just make slabs using this technique. You know, you can just use the grippiness of the bench just to actually stretch out. So we've got my slab of clay. We're going to come over here. Now this is a bit like rolling pastry. So every time you do a roll, you have to keep moving it. Now, just like pastry, if you want to increase the width or something, or the length of it, it only stretches in one direction, so just like this. So you can't have your clay wider than this, obviously, but if you want your slab to be a particular width, then make sure the width is in this way and not that way, because we're going to stretch it. So put your bit of clay down. The cloth is there to stop the clay sticking from the bench. There's two things. This is the most important thing. You have to undo these, and they feel like they go in opposite directions, but they don't. They both go in the same direction. And then on this handle, this is the height adjuster, and there's a useful arrow on here with the word up. That means when you spin it in this direction, you'll see the roller will go up. Now on the side here, on this side, there's a list of numbers in normal numerical order. I don't know exactly what these numbers relate to. They don't relate to a specific millimetre height or centimetre height or anything. It's just numbers 7 to 1. So if you're making slab pots and you like your clay at number 3, then you can always set your slab roller at the same thickness. So it's the gauge of thickness. So once you've moved it, you do your things back up on the side. Now, this isn't a dangerous bit of kit. You might want to go around that way and that way. But there is a potential trapping area under here. So if you're with someone or someone's helping you, make sure there's no fingers around here. That's the only dangerous bit. Because this is going to move that way and you can trap your fingers in the end. And it's really simple, it will only go in one direction. So at the moment I'm on number 7, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it down in increments. So that hasn't done much, but it has rolled it out a little bit. Then when you've rolled it out a little bit, pick it up. And you move it, just like when you're doing your pastry, you turn it around, don't you? Stop it sticking to the surface. So we're on number 7, undo it. Opposite to up is down. So turn it the other way round. And I'm going to take it down to 5. And then we're going to roll it again. And you want to do it in small increments. Don't go from number 7 down to number 1, because what you end up doing then is you'll just try to push the clay through. And this is wood. This is only wood, and it will actually push down on the table so you get an uneven slab. Go again. And you'll see it's got a little bit longer. Turn it over again. And I'm going to take it down to...
By doing that as well, you're losing a bit of from water in terms of
yeah, you do lose a little bit.
So the clay's consistency is losing some
A little bit, but not a lot. It won't do much. I mean, that's why the canvas is there, because it stops that moisture sticking to the surface and also to the rolling surface. So just by doing it a little bit at a time, if you're really careful, you can make sure, if you've got someone there, you can get to pull the canvas out and you won't end up with the ripples and textures in it. You can actually have really smooth. So I'm not going to go any thinner than that.
Sorry, what number was that one?
That is 3.5.
3.5, okay.
3.5. So obviously we're doing texture. So there's lots of different ways to apply texture to things, but we're going to use a slab roller to do it. So you could be mark making, you could be pushing things in there, you could draw in there, you could do whatever you want. But we've got some lovely things with different textures on. We've got car mats, old car mats and stuff, old bits of wallpaper. And we'll use a bit of wallpaper today because it's a bit thinner. With these, you have to be careful because they're so thick. If your slab of clay is too thick, it will just push through and really cut right through to the other side. And it's good if you get a bit of WD-40 or something on those. So it doesn't matter which way up it goes. It'll either be an innie or an outie texture. So we'll try outie. Now, with those really thick things, like the car mats and stuff, I would then have to adjust this and bring that up because we're not really, if we force it through, it will actually start rolling the clay out again. With this one, it should be fine with this clay. Just roll it across. Take it off and there's your texture.
Could you use that wallpaper again? Or...
Yeah, you could use that wallpaper a number of times, yeah. Or you can, if you want to get creative, use different bits of wallpaper, have different bits of texture on different parts of your pot. Get a board to put the work on. You can all see that there, it's pretty good. And now we'll go through into the other room and I'll show you how we'll construct the vessel.